Some players are born polished. Some players are born relentless. Russell Westbrook was not handed the spotlight early. He was not labeled the next great thing from the start. He was not the most refined scorer. He was not the smoothest shooter. He was not the safest decision-maker. But he was different. Different in energy. Different in aggression. Different in conviction. While others were trying to fit into systems, he was building one internally. Energy is power. Most people misunderstand that. They think energy is emotion. They think it's hype. They think it's loud reactions and animated celebrations. But real energy is intensity directed with purpose. Westbrook built his game on intensity before the world ever applauded it. He played every possession like it mattered. Not just late-game possessions. Not just nationally televised games. Every possession. Because effort compounds. Effort multiplies opportunity. Opportunity creates impact. He didn't wait to feel confident. He acted confident. Action reinforces belief. When you attack the rim over and over, even when you miss, you rewire your brain to expect success. Expectation eliminates hesitation. Hesitation never existed in his wiring. You never see Westbrook pause before exploding. He commits fully. Commitment is rare. Most players hold something back. They protect their reputation. They protect their image. They protect their efficiency. Westbrook never protected anything. He attacked. Attacked without apology. When you attack without fear of embarrassment, you unlock something deeper. Freedom. Freedom creates explosion. He played with fire, not fear. Fear slows muscles. Fear tightens breath. Fear creates mental negotiation. Should I drive? Should I pass? Should I slow down? Westbrook never negotiated. He trusted instinct. Instinct grows through repetition. Repetition builds confidence. Confidence becomes automatic. Automatic confidence is unshakable. He did not need perfect mechanics to dominate. He needed belief. Belief makes up for imperfections. He rebounded like a forward. He sprinted like a sprinter. He defended with pride, not because he was asked to, because he expected more from himself. Expectation drives behavior. When you expect intensity, you deliver it. His energy forced teammates to rise. Energy transfers? If one player refuses to coast, others feel it, and coasting becomes uncomfortable. Comfort is dangerous. Westbrook made comfort impossible. Every possession was war. War requires commitment. Commitment requires identity. His identity was built on effort. Effort never betrays you. Skill can fluctuate, shots can fall or miss, but effort is controllable. He mastered what he could control. Control builds stability. Stability builds belief. Belief builds dominance. He played full speed not to impress, but because it felt natural. Natural intensity is unstoppable. Now let's go deeper. Playing with fire, not fear, is key. Fire can burn if you let it, or it can fuel you. Westbrook learned to fuel. Many intense players get lost in emotion. They argue with referees. They force shots out of frustration. They spiral after mistakes. Westbrook made a different decision. He allowed emotion to energize him, not distract him. Emotion becomes power when it is directed. Directed emotion creates explosion without chaos. He channeled frustration into rebounds. He channeled criticism into attack. He channeled doubt into output. Output silences doubt. The league called him reckless. He called himself relentless. Language matters. If you label yourself reckless, you shrink. If you label yourself relentless, you grow. Identity follows language. He chose his language carefully. He did not apologize for playing hard. He did not tone himself down to make others comfortable. Comfort is not the goal. Dominance is. Dominance requires intensity sustained over time. Sustaining intensity requires conditioning, mental conditioning. Mental conditioning says, I will not slow down because of opinion. I will not change because of criticism. I will not shrink because of narrative. That is power. Power without permission. He decided early that he would rather fail aggressively than succeed passively. Passive success builds doubt. Aggressive failure builds courage. Courage compounds. Compounded courage creates fearlessness. Fearlessness changes posture. You can see it in how he walks onto the floor. Chest up, eyes locked, no hesitation. Posture communicates belief. Belief intimidates opponents. When defenders see someone coming at them full speed with no pause, they retreat instinctively. Retreat creates space. Space creates opportunity. Opportunity creates dominance. Westbrook did not wait for perfect matchups. He created them through force. Force backed by belief is terrifying, and the more he attacked, the more unstoppable he became. Because he removed the only real limitation, self-doubt. Self-doubt never had space in his mind. Not because he was immune to criticism, but because he was committed to identity. Identity over opinion, always. Criticism is loud, especially when you are bold. Russell Westbrook has heard it all. Too emotional, too reckless, not efficient enough. Won't win like that. Most players shrink when criticism becomes constant, because repetition creates doubt, but only if you let it. Westbrook made a decision early. He would not allow outside voices to rewrite his identity. Identity must be internally authored. If you allow media, fans, or opponents to define you, you become reactive. Reactive players adjust themselves to fit approval. Adjusting for approval weakens conviction. Conviction builds dominance. Westbrook understood something most never do. You cannot be polarizing and passive at the same time. Greatness attracts noise. Noise tests confidence. Confidence is not built by applause. It is built by surviving criticism without bending. He didn't quiet his energy to become more acceptable. He doubled down on it because his energy was authentic. Authenticity builds unbreakable confidence. If you try to play a role, you will hesitate. If you are yourself, you commit fully. Commitment removes doubt. He chose to live with mistakes instead of living in fear. Fear creates hesitation. Hesitation kills aggression. Aggression fuels Westbrook. He would rather miss a shot he attacked than hesitate on a shot he feared. That mindset changes everything. When you remove the fear of failure, you unlock freedom. Freedom accelerates growth. Because you are not playing safe. Safe players never maximize potential. They protect efficiency. They protect image. They protect narrative. Westbrook protected effort. Effort never betrays you. He continued attacking even when percentages dipped, because percentages fluctuate. Identity does not. He trusted his work. He trusted his preparation. He trusted his engine. Trust makes you resilient. Resilience silences doubt. The world will always debate your style. The question is, will you? Internal debate is more dangerous than external criticism. He never debated himself. That is mental toughness. Mental toughness is not emotional numbness. It is emotional direction. He directed frustration into output. He turned narratives into motivation. He didn't fight critics with words. He fought them with pace. Full speed. Every possession. Because if you play half speed trying to please critics, you lose yourself. And once you lose yourself, you lose your edge. He kept his edge. Now let's talk about the triple-double mindset. Triple-doubles are not accidental. They are a byproduct of total engagement. Most players specialize. Score. Pass. Defend. Rebound. Westbrook refused to specialize emotionally. He participated in everything. Participation builds control. Control builds impact. Impact builds legacy. Rebounding as a guard is not physical. It is mental. It requires anticipation. It requires desire. It requires refusing to assume someone else will handle it. That is responsibility. Responsibility creates growth. He attacked rebounds like they were fast breaks because he understood something powerful. Possession equals opportunity. Opportunity equals control. Control equals dominance. He didn't wait for the game to come to him. He injected himself into it. Every loose ball, every transition sprint, every defensive possession. Intensity in small moments creates big outcomes. That is compounding effort. Compounding effort separates good from historic. He did not view rebounding as a guard's job. He viewed winning possessions as everyone's job. Ownership builds leadership. Leadership built through effort is undeniable. When teammates see someone fighting for every inch, excuses disappear. Excuses cannot survive next to relentless effort. He set a standard of full commitment. When he chased triple-doubles, critics said stat chasing. He said completeness. Completeness means affecting every column. Scoring. Passing. Rebounding. Defending. Complete players control more variables. More variables equals more influence. Influence changes games. Games change careers. Careers build legacies. He refused to limit himself. Limitation is mental before physical. He did not ask, should I? He asked, why not? Why not attack? Why not rebound? Why not lead the break? Why not dominate physically and mentally? Why not? That question unlocks growth. Most players ask, what if I fail? Westbrook asked, what if I don't? That shift is everything. Fear limits. Curiosity expands. He expanded his game by refusing to accept limitations placed on him. He did not shrink to fit expectations. He expanded to challenge them. Expansion requires confidence. Confidence requires repetition. Repetition requires discipline. Discipline builds stamina. Stamina sustains intensity. And intensity sustained over years creates impact. You cannot fake that level of effort. You cannot fake that engine. You cannot fake that identity. It must be chosen. Chosen daily. Chosen possession by possession. Chosen when tired. Chosen when criticized. Chosen when doubted. He chose it. Every time. You were not built to move quietly. You were built to move with force. Not reckless force. Not emotional chaos. Directed force. You do not shrink to make others comfortable. You do not dim your intensity to fit opinions. You do not apologize for effort. Effort is honorable. Effort is controllable. Effort is yours. You understand something now. Energy is power, and power must be owned. If you suppress your intensity, you weaken yourself. If you fear criticism, you hesitate. If you hesitate, you lose your edge. You do not hesitate. You commit. Fully, every possession, every sprint, every decision. You do not measure yourself by perfection. You measure yourself by effort. Perfection fluctuates. Effort does not. You choose to attack, not because you're careless, because you are fearless. Fearlessness is not the absence of mistakes. It is the refusal to be controlled by them. You will miss shots. You will make turnovers. You will be criticized. And you will continue. Because identity is stronger than opinion. Opinion shifts. Identity stays. You are relentless. You are intense. You are unapologetic. When others question, you accelerate. When others doubt, you attack. When others slow down, you go full speed. Full speed is not chaos. Full speed is commitment. You commit to growth. You commit to effort. You commit to identity. Say this internally now. I compete at full speed. I do not shrink for approval. I do not hesitate under pressure. My energy is my weapon. My effort separates me. My intensity fuels me. Criticism sharpens me. Mistakes teach me. Fatigue does not stop me. Doubt does not control me. I am relentless. I am committed. I am built different. And when the moment comes, I attack.